Okay, Donald, so I'm going to go over a couple of problems from EE3 and EE4 and have you look at that again, okay? So EE3 is all about the different math properties and then simplifying them and combining the like terms. And you did a really good job on that combining like terms 9.3 that your mom emailed back to me. So I'm really proud of you. That was really great. So we're just going to take that one step further here. So part A for number 1 on EE3, the directions say identify the property of multiplication that you would use to simplify each expression below and then simplify each. There may be more than one property. Well, part A of number 1 gives you x is equal to 5k times 18. So the first thing they want to know is what property is this? So when you look at that, it's you have to decide what property do you think it is. Well, does it matter what order you multiply those in? Would it matter if I multiplied 18 times 5k or 5k times 18? Does it matter which way I do that? You should say no. So the answer to that's no. Just like when I used to use that example when I taught this a couple of months ago, I would say it doesn't matter how I get to school every day. It doesn't matter if I come in the back way, up Ford Road, and to the school in the back entrance, or if I come all the way up the highway and turn in the main entrance, I'm going to commute the same way. So that's commutative property, right? So it wouldn't matter which way I do that. The other property that would work here is associative property. So we have grouping symbols. So it wouldn't matter if I grouped it here with parentheses or if we have parentheses on this one, for on the 18, either one would work. So you could say commutative or associative for this one. Either would be fine, would be correct, okay? And then all you have to do, you can multiply these, because when we're talking about combining like terms, those rules apply to addition and subtraction. Multiplication is okay, so we can multiply these. So we can say 18 times 5 is 90, and we have to keep the k. So x is equal to 90k. So that's number 1, part A. So I'm going to have you do part B. And part B, when you turn that back in, that's a property that we talked about in that last video. And that when we had that Google Meet with your mom, that was a property we talked about. So that one should be a little more fresh in your head. And you are going to multiply with that one too. Okay? Okay, Donald. So this example is very similar to number 2 on EE3. So number 2 on sorry about that. Number 2 on EE3 says, does the expression below represent distributive property? Well, remember, distributive property means that you have a number outside parentheses here, and you multiply it by each term inside the parentheses, okay? They use the X multiplication symbol in this case, okay? So they want to know, does this side here equal this side when we distribute this B? Okay, so let's see. B times A would be BA. B, we keep our plus sign. B times C is BC. Is that the same? You should say yes, that's the same. So your answer to this would be yes, that is distributive property. And you would show your work for that, okay? So there's one like that for number 2 on EE3, so I want you to show your work for that when you turn it in, okay? Okay, Donald, number 3 on EE3 is similar to this problem, okay? So number 3 says, rewrite the expression below using distributive property. So the expression I gave here is 15g plus 35a. Well, this is one of those ones where you need to find the greatest common factor of 15 and 35, and that number goes on the outside of the parentheses, and then the bottom layer of your cake is what you will have inside parentheses. So remember, a few months ago when we did greatest common factor with the upside down birthday cake. You're going to put 15 and 35 inside the cake, like that. And so you're going to say what goes into both 15 and 35. And I'm sure you said 5. So 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 35 7 times. Then I put my another layer on. And then you would say what will go into both 3 and 7. So your answer here is going to be 1, because both are prime numbers. So you're 1 and done. And so for greatest common factor, we're looking at this column. So our greatest common factor is going to be equal to 5 times 1, which the greatest common factor will be 5. So that goes on the outside. Then inside is the 3 and the 7, 3 plus 7, but you can't forget your variables here. Okay, so you're going to have 3G plus 7A inside parentheses. And then you would check your work by saying 5 times 3, okay, that's 15G, plus 5 times 7, okay, that's 35A. If you get what you started with, you know, if your teacher could write nicely, you're right, okay? So there's that example. So you're going to do number 3 on EE3 like this, okay? I hope that's helpful. Okay, EE3 number 4. Here's an example that's very similar to that one. So what EE3 number 4 is saying is they want you to use distributive property to simplify the equation below. So we have 2 outside parentheses, D plus 4P inside parentheses equals Z. Okay, so you're going to have to use distributive property here. So we're going to take 2 times D and then 2 times 4P. Okay, so 2 times D, that's going to be 2D, plus 2 times 4P will be 8P equals Z. And that's it. That's the answer. We can't combine any other terms because you have a D and a P, and you can't add those together. That's like adding pineapples and cats. Remember from that video we watched? Can't add that together. Okay, so that's it. That's all you got to do for that one. Okay, let's look at EE3 number 5. Here's an example that's similar to the one that you did. You're just off a little bit in what you sent. So here's an example, similar. So you have 6b times 4b plus 2 inside parentheses. So we have to multiply 6b times 4b and then 6b times 2, okay? The one that you sent, you forgot to multiply the second term. There's also one more rule. Whenever you multiply variables, like this b and this b, there's an exponent here of 1. You just can't see it. Whenever you multiply, you have to add exponents together with the variables, okay? So 6b times 4b, it will be 24b, but you have to square it, okay? And then 6b times 2 is going to be 12b. So that will be the answer, okay? So when you do number 5, you should have an exponent there should be an exponent in your answer. And then you will also have another variable over here and when you do that multiplication, okay? So remember, when you multiply variables like b, add exponents. Okay, hopefully that's helpful. Okay, EE3 number 6. You have a question mark on that one. So it says use distributive property to write and evaluate the expression. I'm not quite sure what you had before. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so I gave an example here. So 96 outside parentheses, and you have 74 plus 12. So what you would do is take 96 times 74, okay? And so, you know, use a calculator, please. It's totally fine to use a calculator. 96 times 74, and you're going to get 7,104 plus, and then you would say 96 times 12, you would get 1,152. Then you're going to add that together. 7104 plus that. And then you're going to have a final answer like this. Okay? So technically you would have this. So all your work, each step is one right underneath the other, like that. Okay? The next one, we don't really need to even do this one because I gave you this example to follow, and that's how you would do the other example as well. Okay, so there's 2 of those on number 6. You would solve them the same way, show each step of that. Okay. Next, you got that next one, 5y, so I'm not at all worried about that. The next one's a little tricky. I'm going to pause the video and write down an equivalent expression so you can kind of see. Okay, so this is one very similar to that one, and you have a question mark by that one. So what you're going to do is start with distributive property, okay? So you're going to take 3 times 4c first. So we're going to multiply here, we're going to multiply here, okay? So 4 times 3 is 12c, okay? Then you're going to keep your plus sign. Then you're going to take 3 times d is 3d, okay? Then this division symbol comes down, okay? Then you're going to do the same thing on this side of the division symbol. 4 times 2c, then 4 times 3d, okay? So 4 times 2c is 8c, and then 4 times 3d is 12d. And that is where you end this problem. You can't combine this any further because of this division symbol in the middle, okay? So then you would be done. So that is how you will do number 8 on EE3, okay? Number 8, okay? Okay, Donald, so this one is similar to EE3 number 9. So again, you're using distributive property to simplify this expression. Now, the difference between this one and the last one I went over is there's a plus sign in the middle, okay? So we're going to combine this one a lot further than the last one, okay? So, again, first thing we're going to do is multiply this 2 by each term inside parentheses. So 2 times c is going to be 2c plus 2 times 3e is going to be 6e. I'm going to bring this plus sign down. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to multiply the 8 by both terms inside parentheses. 8 times e is 8e plus 8 times 4c is 32c. Okay? Now this is the point where you need to look to see what terms are alike. Okay? So I'm going to say 2c and 32c are alike. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to say 34c, I'm going to bring these 2 down, plus 6e plus 8e. Well, now I can combine my 6e and my 8e, and it's going to be 34c plus 14e. That is your final answer, okay? We can't combine any further because this is a c and that is an e, okay? We can't combine those. It's like apples and oranges. I'm sure you've heard that before, and we're done there, okay? Hope that one makes sense. Your next one, I'm going to go right to that because you are so close to being right on that one. You're here. Oh, that's so sloppy. I'm so sorry. Okay. You're here. Okay. And that can be simplified. I find it a little easier sometimes to write it like this because we've gone over the fraction bar. That line means divided by, right? So 6y divided by 6. You would cancel these 6's out, right? If this was a fraction, you would say, oh, 6 divided by 6, that's 1. You would be done. So your answer here is just y. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that is EE3. Those are examples for EE3. Sorry, that was number 10. To help you out. So I want you to go back through and fix those ones that you need to fix. And then you can send that back to me. And then I'm going to make you the EE4 video to help you out with that. Your grade did come up an awful lot today from you sending in that work. So keep it up. I'm really proud of you for working so hard, and you should really thank your mom, because you're really lucky to have somebody like her helping you out. So you're doing a great job too, Mom. Thank you very much.